The Kansas City Chiefs, a team known for their resilience, talent, and ability to surprise opponents, have once again managed to shock the nation. This time, however, the surprise did not come from a last-minute touchdown or a dramatic playoff comeback. Instead, it emerged from an announcement that reverberated across the football world, leaving fans, analysts, and rivals in disbelief. The Chiefs, a symbol of consistency and dominance in the modern NFL, suddenly became the center of one of the most talked about developments in recent sports history. The weight of this revelation carried more than athletic implications. It raised questions about leadership, stability, and the future direction of a franchise that has embodied excellence. For supporters, the news felt like a jolt to the heart, disrupting the sense of inevitability that Kansas City had carefully built over recent seasons. The shockwaves stretched beyond Arrowhead Stadium, impacting the league as a whole. What once seemed unshakable was now clouded by uncertainty, creating a defining moment in the ongoing story of the Chiefs. To fully understand why this news has created such a stir, one must revisit the Chiefs' remarkable journey over the past several years. Under the leadership of Andy Reid and the brilliance of Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City carved out a legacy of dominance. Super Bowl appearances and victories cemented their place as more than contenders. They became the standard for others to chase. The team's unique combination of explosive offense, adaptable defense, and resilient mindset positioned them as a dynasty in the making. Fans and analysts alike spoke of Kansas City in the same breath as the great teams of the past, believing the dynasty would continue uninterrupted for years to come. The recent revelation, however, challenges that perception. For the first time in years, questions linger about the team's stability and longevity. Dynasties are never guaranteed, no matter how dominant they appear, and this moment serves as a reminder that even the strongest organizations are vulnerable to sudden change. The Chiefs' golden run now stands at a crossroads where uncertainty collides with ambition. When the news broke, the immediate reactions extended well beyond Kansas City. The NFL thrives on headlines, and when one of its marquee franchises becomes the focus of upheaval, the entire league feels the impact. Rival teams, long accustomed to playing from behind against the Chiefs, suddenly saw an opening. Analysts debated whether this development marked the beginning of a shift in power, with some pointing to other emerging franchises ready to seize momentum. The balance of the AFC, once dominated by Kansas City's unshakable presence, now appeared vulnerable. Media outlets dissected every angle, amplifying speculation and fueling national conversation. The shockwaves altered how fans, players, and front offices across the NFL approached the upcoming season. Was this a brief stumble for a powerhouse or the beginning of decline? The league thrives on unpredictability, and this moment injected fresh uncertainty into a narrative many thought was already written. The Chiefs' sudden turbulence reshaped expectations, setting the stage for one of the most intriguing seasons in recent memory. In times of upheaval, the true test of an organization lies in its leadership. For the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid has long been the anchor. His calm presence, strategic brilliance, and ability to inspire trust have guided the team through countless battles. Alongside him, Patrick Mahomes has emerged not only as the face of the franchise, but as a leader whose influence stretches beyond the field. With shocking developments unfolding, the responsibility now rests on these figures to steady the course. Leadership requires clarity, resilience, and the ability to inspire belief during uncertain times. The Chiefs' locker room looks to its veterans for guidance, while younger players seek assurance that their goals remain within reach. The challenge is monumental, yet it is precisely in these moments that dynasties prove their strength. The future of Kansas City depends not just on strategy and talent, but on how effectively its leaders unify the team under pressure. Strong leadership will determine whether this shock becomes a downfall or a catalyst for renewed greatness. The locker room atmosphere often reflects the heart of a franchise, and for Kansas City, it has traditionally been defined by unity, energy, and determination. News of this magnitude, however, cannot help but stir emotions. Players responded with a mixture of shock, uncertainty, and resolve. For veterans, the task is to transform the disruption into motivation, reminding teammates of their shared goals and collective resilience. Younger athletes, still learning the culture of professional football, look to seasoned leaders for reassurance. In moments like this, bonds are either strengthened or tested. The Chiefs' identity has always been rooted in trust and camaraderie, qualities that now carry even greater significance. Every practice, meeting, and game becomes an opportunity to reinforce belief in the system and each other. While the outside world speculates, the locker room holds the power to shape reality. How Kansas City's players respond internally may ultimately define how the organization emerges from this shock. Unity, above all, is the essential foundation for survival. For fans, the Chiefs represent far more than a football team. They symbolize pride, identity, and community. Arrowhead Stadium has long been a cathedral of passion, where supporters unite behind chants and unwavering belief. The recent revelation, however, sent waves of disbelief and sorrow through the fanbase. Generations of followers who celebrated victories and endured setbacks together suddenly found themselves grappling with the unknown. Social media platforms captured the raw emotion, shock, disappointment, and hope intertwined in every message. While some feared the worst, others urged patience and faith in the franchise they have trusted for decades. Chiefs fans have endured challenges before, but this moment feels uniquely jarring given the team's recent dominance. Yet loyalty runs deep in Kansas City, and the bond between team and community remains unbroken. The fans' ability to rally, support, and inspire may prove just as important as the players' performance on the field. Passion can heal wounds, and Chiefs Kingdom now faces the ultimate test of endurance. The media thrives on moments of upheaval, and the Chiefs' revelation provided a storyline too powerful to ignore. National outlets dedicated extensive coverage, while analysts dissected the implications from every angle. Headlines framed the situation as a defining test of Kansas City's dynasty, fueling speculation about potential outcomes. Was this the start of decline or merely a temporary storm? Experts debated endlessly, with predictions ranging from doom to resilience. The media spotlight amplified pressure on players and coaches, turning routine press conferences into headline material. In many ways, perception became as influential as reality. The frenzy not only shaped public opinion, but also influenced how rivals approach the situation. For Kansas City, navigating this media storm is almost as critical as addressing the actual challenges within the organization. The narrative surrounding the team will either become a burden or a source of motivation. How the Chiefs manage external noise while staying focused internally will reveal much about their ability to withstand adversity. Across the NFL, rivals have watched the Chiefs dominate with equal parts respect and frustration. For years, Kansas City was the team that others measured themselves against, the hurdle that often stood between them and championship aspirations. The sudden turbulence now presents a rare opportunity. Division rivals in particular, long overshadowed by the Chiefs' brilliance, sense that the balance of power may finally shift. Coaches and players from other franchises study the development closely, preparing to exploit any vulnerability. Respect remains, but ambition pushes them to seize momentum. Rivalries thrive not only on competition but on psychology, and the perception of weakness can fuel confidence in opponents. Yet history shows that underestimating Kansas City often leads to regret. The Chiefs have thrived under pressure before, and their rivals must weigh optimism against caution. The unfolding drama not only reshapes Kansas City's path, but redefines how every team in the league approaches their pursuit of dominance. Opportunity and risk are equally heightened for those chasing the crown. The Chiefs' revelation underscores a reality often forgotten in the glamour of professional sports. Success is fragile, and uncertainty is inevitable. Behind every dynasty are moments of crisis that determine whether greatness continues or fades. For Kansas City, this is one of those defining junctures. Beyond wins and losses, the news carries lessons about leadership, unity, and resilience. It reminds fans and players alike that no team, regardless of its dominance, is immune to shock. At the same time, it highlights the very qualities that make sports so compelling: the unpredictability, the drama, and the chance for redemption. Kansas City now carries the responsibility of writing the next chapter in its legacy. Whether this moment becomes a setback or a springboard depends entirely on how the organization responds. For the NFL as a whole, the Chiefs' journey serves as a powerful example of how quickly fortunes can change and how resilience remains the truest measure of greatness. As the Chiefs confront this unexpected turn, the weight of history and the promise of the future intersect. What began as shocking news has evolved into a test of resolve, character, and culture. Dynasties are remembered not only for their triumphs, but for how they navigate turbulence. Kansas City now stands at a defining moment where leadership, unity, and determination will shape the outcome. The road ahead may not be easy, but challenges often forge legacies more powerful than victories alone. For the players, it is a call to focus beyond distraction. For fans, it is a reminder that loyalty carries meaning in both joy and hardship. For the league, it is a moment that redefines balance and competition. The Chiefs' response to this shock will determine how they are remembered, not as a team shaken by change, but as one strengthened by it. This is not the end of their story, it is the beginning of a new chapter, written under the brightest spotlight.